I'd like to call this special meeting of the Pender County Commission to order on this day, November 25th. So what are the wishes of the board?
Mr. Chair, I would like to ask the attorney, do we need to start reading before we go into closed session the statute that allows us to go into closed session?
We don't have to read the whole thing, but it is appropriate to make reference, and again, or incorporate by reference, right?
Okay.
This morning, it would be going into closed session for
Sure.
personnel.
Is your mic on, sir?
Sorry. It would be appropriate to note we'd be going into closed session to discuss a personnel matter.
All right.
I would ask staff to get with the attorney to find out what part of the statute we need to start reading to incorporate that in before we start making motions to go into closed session. For time purposes, and today I'll make a motion to go into closed session per the attorney and the statute
For personnel matter.
for personnel matters.
A second.
All right. Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Raise your
Aye.
hand. Aye. All right. Thank you, everyone. We're in closed session. open session. So, what are the wishes of the board?
Make a motion to approve the county manager contract, with the verbiage we discussed, in closed session regarding the personnel policies.
Let's say.
And if I may,
Yes, go ahead.
so it's in the record, and anybody, that it would be that the manager is subject to, the terms and conditions of our personnel policy.
Is your microphone on? Part C.
Sorry, well, closed session, didn't have it on, that the manager will be, the contract would be amended to provide that the manager will be subject to the personnel policy, except to the extent it is in conflict with his contract and in the contractual control.
Okay.
Is that?
All right, there's a motion and a second on the floor.
Are you,
You want-
discussion?
Yeah, we can have some discussion now, and then we'll take a vote after that. It's fine.
Mr. Chairman, I respectfully understand you and my colleagues' decision today in regarding this matter. I would like for the record to reflect that my concern about this candidate is that there's no prior experience in leadership role at the county management level or at the assistant county management level. And as Pender becomes a more growing county today, I believe that we need someone who's experienced at the helm. The minimum supervision experience is also a great concern for mine. Currently supervised as a staff, my understanding of one, and yet he would have the responsibility of the leader of this organization of 560 plus employees, and if the merger happened, an additional 200 plus employees, puts this county at a great risk and to me liability of someone with this level, a low level of leadership experience, if that happened, going to nearly 800 employees. Third, I would like to say today, I want the record to reflect also my concern is that no experience over a large complex budget, which is a major concern for me. One of the largest components of our budget is funding our school system, and he has no experience working with school system budget, which is a large and funding responsibility of this board. Another major concern of mine, he lacks economic development experience. We need a manager who has the experience, almost like Rick Benton, who came in our county, who could partner with WBD and other places to bring business in. Then fifth, I'd like to mention today the lack of water and sewer infrastructure experience. No background working with county water or county-wide infrastructure system. And we hear people come to every meeting sharing the need for our county to have water. I was just in a meeting with Commissioner Springer last week where we heard wastewater needs as well. And by having none of those experiences at the helm greatly concerns me as a Pender County citizen. Then sixth item tonight, this morning, is no capital improvement project experience. Pender County is currently undertaking two largest construction projects. The construction project of our Department of Health and Human Services building and our law enforcement center are major components here. And as county government continue to grow, I believe we need a manager at the helm that knows construction and knows construction management, should I say at least, or have the ability to supervise that. And having no experience in delivering major capital improvement projects is very concerning. Limited grant development experience and administration is very concerning to me. Despite the county relying heavily on state and federal funding, we need someone at the helm and proven with a track record to be able to do it, Eighth today, I'd like to bring up to the attention of the board, we're bringing someone in here to the county today that's coming from a town relatively the size of Burgaw with 5,000 residents to a county with over 72,000 people is very concerning. While needs are greatly diverse in this county from east to west. We're a coastal county. We need someone who has coastal experience. A lot of our dollars come from our beach community. We need someone who knows that community, knows the beach and renourishment issues, and knows our experience in working with those areas. We need someone who also have an understanding of our coastal community as well as I said, our agricultural communities as well. I'm extremely concerned about we jumping into a major budget. Our budget is growing in Pender County, $200+ million, and someone who's leaving a small town department budget, well, I would estimate there's less than probably in his own department is less than $10 million, in my own estimation, to a county that he has oversight now of a budget of $200 million is a great concern. The compensation package that we're offering him today, and reviewing this contract thoroughly last night and up until early morning hours, is $175,000, which is not, to me, as concerning for an experienced manager. In fact, more experienced manager would be paid much more than that. And I would support a person who had a lot of level of experience getting a salary much more than that. But I can't go along with his salary even at this level with no experience. And then offering him a 12-month contract is a concern to me. We haven't offered that in past boards that I've been a part of here. We always offered the manager 6 months. He's got a 12-month contract, unless I haven't interpreted that right, Council, or Ms. Brown, please correct me. And then part of that also, I see a 12-month servants package here. I haven't seen that offer before here in the county, which basically says combined, we're offering him a 2-year contract today, which would then bet this county over $350,000 without benefits if he had to leave our county. My concern is, why would we do this to offer to an inexperienced manager? And then provide him a county vehicle. I understand that's been customary, not questioning that, but the package that we offer him to me seems grossly overcompensation for someone with this level of experience. It almost seems like there's an understanding or there's an expectation for failure, so we want to make sure he's covered in the event that happens, and I hope that doesn't happen. And these are my reasons I submit to you today that I cannot vote for this contract. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Tate, for your
Mr. Chair, I'd like to
insight.
respond.
Do you want to go ahead and let's do the vote? Then we have some closing comments after that?
No, I think it's appropriate for discussion.
Okay,
Uh,
feel free.
So, Dr. Tate, while I respect your position and your posture on this, much like we discuss the standards and expectations of the new county manager, I would respectfully ask that you come up with these items, how many ever they are, but we'll go through the ones I wrote down. Economic development, what you would require and expect as far as standards go, to work with Mr. Satterfield at WBD, what he can do, what he can't do, that type of thing. As far as budget, I understand your position on that as well. Him not having a budget experience coming from a small town, but I believe he's got probably some great mentors up under as subordinates, such as Miss Blue, who's done a phenomenal job with what she was given to work with. Skipping down to the salary, I would say that the board voted on a salary change to pay this manager in the upward section of almost $200,000, and we have come down on that a lot, in my opinion. As far as the contract timing goes, I think with the new manager coming in, the precedence that has been set before, and I'm not disrespecting any prior boards, but we had 1,400 hits for developmental associates, and only 77 people applied. This shows lack of instability, and this also sends, what kind of message does this send to our employees? And so with that, we have a retaining problem, which is common knowledge, but we have to start from the top, and we have to provide some type of stability. If the political arena up here changes between the 4 commissioners, we don't need somebody coming in here thinking they're just going to come in here and dismiss the county manager because they don't like the way he thinks or because he's new. He makes a mistake. You don't need to just be fired over it. So that's my thoughts on that. Mr. Chair, I would ask that we move forward on the
I think
contract.
the message it just sends to the employees at Pender County are great morale issues, because it's unfair to think Sarah or someone else can be able to train them to be able to come and do the job. Then we ought to make a lateral move to make that person the manager. I think this message sends today to employees, we're not concerned about growing your own. We got employees and department heads here who's more qualified than this gentleman to be able to have. It's nothing against him today, gentlemen. I want to say that once this vote's taking place, and clearly you got the votes, he becomes my manager in a few moments. But I would also want to say today, it sends a message to our employees that you can be qualified, but we're going to bring someone outside who's less qualified, but then you're going to be expected to train them. And in my background of work, I wouldn't be giving my resignation tomorrow.
Commissioner
All right,
Tate, I would say I often advocated in public for us to start promoting within, and I believe that's on live feed. The board did not go my way, and I think the majority of the board didn't go my way. But I often advocated during the process that we should seriously consider promoting within if we're going to send that right message. So I would respectfully agree with you on that.
So do you want to amend, because I must miss something, so you want to amend the motion to make sure that we make one of our candidates here in the county offer the manager position? Is that what you're saying?
What I would say is, if we're gonna promote within, I think we need to seriously consider the employees that we have now and rely, much like you said in the process, not hiring the assistant county manager.
Now, I'm saying at the county manager level, since we have more department heads who are more qualified than this gentleman, I'm specifically asking, are you willing to nominate one of them in the manager role now versus this gentleman who has less qualifications? Is that what you're saying, or what I'm hearing you say?
No, sir.
Change your position?
Yeah, I said that before we started, or before we spent the money for developmental associates.
Okay, well, now that we spent the money for development associate that we all voted on, is that now, rather than spending more money that would cost us $350,000 minimum, because it may be even more than that, we could be looking at paying 3 personnel at one time. We don't know what future board's gonna behold. We don't know who'll be sitting in my seat, your seat, many of our seats in future behold. But I do know our vote today will indebt the taxpayers for many, many years if this doesn't work out. And so I'd much rather for us to look at promoting somebody within who's already got a track record for staying a part of Pender. We got some awesome people in this team, awesome employees in this team that's in this room today. And I think giving them I'm just being very upfront is what I'm saying. And rather us bringing them in with someone who's less qualified, but then saying, yeah, I want you to train them. I'm just saying in education, that was saying a very bad morale issue. You're not good enough for the position, but I'm expecting you to train them. I can't live with myself with that.
All right, are we good with the discussion? There's a motion and a second on the floor. So I'm gonna call for the vote. All those in favor of the motion and the second on the floor signify by yay or nay and raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And Dr. Tate's opposed. Okay, so that passes. So now I want to just give my brief statement. So this has been a lengthy process that a professional firm has reached out and went through a lot of candidates. It's taken several months and several assessment centers. This is something that I'm sure the entire board has taken very serious. But I do just want to say a couple of things that when our manager starts, fully want to support his success. And I think all the department heads want to try to do that also. I won't, there's not a soul in this room that got to the position that they got without working their way up somewhere. Nobody walked into a leadership role. Before you were a leader, you were not. So with that being said, I want to welcome Mr. Sawyer to Pender County, and we'll see what the future holds. And I'm a glass half full kind of person, and I think that moving forward into 2026 is going to be very good for the citizens of Pender County. We're going to be doing some exciting things, and that's all I have to say about that. So, any other discussion?
Mr. Chair, I would ask that you please send out an email to the employees regarding the hiring of a county manager before we have, obviously this is in public now, but there was a leak, clearly.
Sure.
And I think it would be respectful to the employees for them to be notified of this.
Yeah,
prior.
and this
probably already happened on social media. I don't know. I don't play on social media.
Yeah,
arena.
I did see something in some local media that that stated, and it was not opinion. It was, I think, as a news article that we had hired a county manager, and I think that's I think this was just done a few minutes ago. Correct, Mr. Attorney?
Yes, sir.
So no manager has been hired before today.
Correct.
All right. So just to set that record straight.
I'm just saying, I think the employees need the respect of knowing who their county manager
Sure.
is going to be.
And in this public meeting today, but I think that Ms. Cobb can send out that internal to our employees, welcoming our new manager. Any other discussion? Commissioner Groves, you have any discussion, anything? Okay. Any other discussion, any other items that needs to be talked about?
I don't have anything else, Mr. Chair.
Dr. Tate? Okay. All right, with that, I'll entertain any other motions for the board.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Raise your hand. Aye. All right. Thank you, everyone. We're stand adjourned.